Marcus Rashford, a statement at St. James Park, individual analysis. When Marcus Rashford moved to Barcelona this summer, it wasn't just another transfer. It was a decision years in the making, a move he'd long yearned for. After years of inconsistency at Manchester United and a loan spell at Aston Villa, where he rediscovered some rhythm, Rashford finally has the stage he wanted: Champions League nights in a Barcelona shirt. And on his very first big European away day, under the lights at St. James's Park, he showed exactly why Hansi Flick trusts him. This wasn't just about goals, it was about attitude, tactical fit, and rediscovering his sharpness. Early on, the battle was set: Rashford versus Kieran Trippier, and he was quite enjoying his battle with Kieran Trippier, and you could see why. He carried Barcelona's left side, constantly forcing Newcastle's defensive block to drop. When he held with, Pedri and De Jong had space inside. When he tucked closer to Lewandowski, Barca looked like they had two centre forwards. The best sequence came when he drove at Trippier in the first part of the match. That wasn't just individual flair, it forced Newcastle's backline to defend deeper than Eddie Howe wanted, buying Barcelona room to play. What also stood out was his work without the ball. One misplaced pass, and Rashford immediately winning it back. This is Hansi Flick's non-negotiable: high line, intense pressure. Rashford pressed with the same energy as he attacked, showing he's fully bought into the system. This performance matters because of what Rashford represents in this Barcelona rebuild. Flick plays a high line, demands vertical threat, and Rashford offers exactly that. Where Lewandowski drops short, Rashford runs in behind. Where Rafinha dribbles inside, Rashford stretches the far side. His movement creates even more unpredictability. It also showed in his mentality. He seemed revitalized. Maybe he has his enthusiasm back for football. That's important. This isn't just about 2 goals on the night. It's about a player who once looked lost in England, now finding joy in Spain. And joy for Rashford translates into explosiveness: pressing, sprinting, shooting without fear. Add to this his Champions League pedigree, last year with Villa against PSG, now with Barcelona delivering at St. James's Park. That's consistency at Europe's highest level. He isn't a passenger, he's becoming the difference maker Flick can rely on. So what's the bigger takeaway? Marcus Rashford's Barcelona story has started with a bang. Barcelona had to survive quite a few dangerous attacks from Newcastle in the first half, but then came Rashford's decisive half. The first goal was a header. Koundé just cut it back onto his left. Rashford had too much space around the penalty spot, and didn't he bury it well? Think about that detail. Rashford, who so often had been the one delivering crosses in his United years, now on the end of one. It symbolizes his adaptation. Less about shouldering the full creative load, more about finishing the moves of a functioning system. But it was the second goal that silenced St. James Park. It was absolutely sensational. A missile, unstoppable, Marcus Rashford from about 5 years ago in Manchester United colours. This isn't a hype, it was vintage Rashford. Ball out wide, a quick shift inside, and a rocket past Nick Pope. No hesitation, no overthinking, just clean execution. That strike, more than anything, felt like a statement. Rashford has his confidence back. 2 goals, a decisive performance, and evidence that he fits into a high-pressing, high-line side. Yes, there will still be questions about his consistency and decision-making, but for now, the signs are clear. Rashford has arrived. And if Barcelona are to push deeper into the Champions League this season, this version of Rashford, sharp, revitalized, and ruthless, might be the weapon that changes their ceiling. On a night when Newcastle were brave, intense, and physical, it was Rashford who had the final word. Barcelona 2, Newcastle 1, and the world was reminded of Marcus Rashford's true level